Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got a bit of a different one here today. This one was made in conjunction with another YouTuber called Hamstgun. His link to his YouTube channel will be down in the description, so make sure you go check him out. In this video we'll be exploring the possibility of a solution that me and Hamstgun have collaborated on and come up with to solve, or certainly help aid the matchmaking in our attack. Without further ado, let's crack on with it.
Leagues act as a great way to measure players' skill. I think they could also be used better. They would be able to provide players with a more steady source of silver, which could be a steady main source, that is, of silver. So the way that they can earn silver instead of doing it through challenges or having it per win, I think leagues could be a good counter to that. So as such, I think it's very necessary to add more leagues into the game. And now, off of this, obviously I'm suggesting to add more leagues. I'm well aware that adding more leagues, a lot of them in one go, is going to cause an issue and dilute what player base there is. So my proposal for that would be to add these leagues in, maybe 1 or 2 per update. Just slowly feed them in so they can slowly sift through, and as the game grows, the leagues grow. Seems to make sense in my mind. Whether the devs agree is a different story. So, my proposal is to add an additional 7 leagues for a total of 10 leagues in overall. These will be popping up screen now for you, probably on the left hand side. So, each league would be split into 5 ranks. So I either be Bronze 5, Bronze 4, Bronze 3, up to Bronze 2 and Bronze 1, example. In the order where 5 is the lowest and 1 is the highest rank within the league. With the change to leagues, there would be a change to the way the progression system works throughout the leagues. But currently in matches we have a set score. We have a set score, well, it's not set, but we get a score per match that's currently not doing anything. So, I propose that this score is used in order to calculate the progression through the leagues, the progression to the total score in the leagues. What it would do is it would this total would progressively increase the higher the league you're in. This will be put on screen. It might increase from rank to rank within the league. I mean, it might do. It could do. I can't say why it wouldn't, but for me, for now on screen, you'll be getting it per different leagues and then the total score, and that would be the same across all ranks within the league. So with that, obviously we're changing that, it would then warrant a change in progression of your reward. It would warrant your reward to progressively increase as well, because obviously you've got to get a high score the higher up the leagues you go. So I think the reward should be reflective of that. So I think that it should progress from 10k in bronze up to 25k in champ. I'll again put these on screen. You would get this for ranking or going through the ranks. So if you progress from rank 5 to rank 4 within a league, you would get the reward for that league. Which I think is fair, and rather than putting the silver per match, it's then still based off of your match, but not directly against performance. And I'll explain further why. So, if you win, my proposal is that you get a win multiplier. The current suggestion that I've got is taking your score and timesing it by 2.5. So let's say you've got a score of 20 with the win. If you win, you would get a total score of 50 points, which would go on your progression bar, which would then go on to progress you through the leagues. If you lose, in the lower leagues, you would earn the same score that you've got on the table. So i.e. you've in bronze league, probably from bronze to gold, this would be by lower leagues. Say you're in bronze league and you've got 10 score, you would still get the 10 score, you just don't lose out on the multiplier. However, for the rest of the leagues, I would propose that there's a target to aim. So this would progressively increase the higher up the leagues you go. You can see a common theme here, the higher up the leagues you go, things seem to increase. So they would, the score would progressively increase. This will go again on screen for the different leagues. It would start from Platinum at 5 all the way up through to Champions League where it's 30. How this would work is anything over this score you would earn in points, just normally. Obviously this is if you lose. If you win you obviously get the multiplier and all sonky dory. But if you lose, this is where this kicks in. So you lose. So let's say you're a Platinum League player, so your target score is 5 and you've earned 10 points in your match. Let's go a little bit higher. You earn 15 score. So Platinum, you would get, you've got a target score of 5. If you earn 15 score in your match, you would then walk away with 10 points. So you would have a positive score. Now, anything under your score would be deducted. So let's say you're in Champions League and you've got a score of 30 to achieve, but you only get 25 points. That means then you would lose 5 points. So this promotes you actually doing well in matches as well as going for the win. So you do well and get the win, gets you the most points. Certainly even in the higher leagues it's more poignant that you do well and win, because it's going to hold your position better. Now you may be wondering, you may go, oh Slayer, what happens if you get to Champions League rank 1? That's the highest league that you've proposed. What happens then? Because you're saying that this should be the main source of progression. It's a good point. On screen I've got a proposal system. I'm proposing that you have 10 matches and you've got to win 6 out of the 10 matches. If you win 6 out of the 10 matches, you keep your rank and you earn the silver. It may be worthwhile to add a bar as well, similar to the rest of the league, so the score. That's where you earn your silver, and the matches may be down to you whether you lose. And if you don't win 6 out of the 10 matches, you go down the rank. That might be something that could be explored, or it could be more than 10 matches. It's just really just in its development ideas as this bit now. But that would be how it would work for Champions League rank 1. Now the next part of this system would be to have a new thing called a hanger strength. What this would essentially mean is it would give each of your mechs a score in the actually in the hanger, so you will be able to see it. Those of you who have played Mech Arena may be familiar with this. However, this is a completely different system, and it'll calculate it very differently, as we've just made it up. We kind of made it up as we went along and had maths to back it up. So this is very maths heavy, this bit. So I will warn you there. It is maths heavy. Okay. But we'll get straight into it. So what this will do is it will take the mech, it will look at the mech level, and it will allocate its score. So there's a list of the different scores for the different levels on the screen, and this is the same for the weapons, same for the score, and it's across all 3 factions. There's also multipliers, depending on the amount of weapons each mech has. So they're on screen too. This is just to balance it out, because a mech that's got more weapons will have a higher score, which we want to avoid because they all should have the same score as max. The score when maxed, so that's level 9 weapons, level 9 mech, that will mean you would have a total score of 1050. So that's the maximum you can have. Okay, we'll get into some examples now. So here we've got a level 9 Spitfire. The Spitfire is the Bastion mech. It's got 2 weapons. As such, it earns the 5 times mech multiplier. It also has 2 level 1 deadbolts. So the system will allocate 70 points for the level 9 Spitfire, and it will allocate it'll allocate 10 points per level 1 deadbolt. So what it will do is it will total up the total points for the mech and the weapons, so in this case 90, and it will times it by the mech multiplier to work out its strength. So in this case, a level 9 Spitfire with 2 level 1 deadbolts will have a total strength of 450. The next example we've got is a level 6 Shroud. It has 4 weapons, as such it earns a 3 times mech multiplier. This mech will have has 4 level 5 pulsars, so it will the system will allocate 35 points for the level 9 Spitfire and 28 points each for each of the pulsars. So it'll add them all up. I should be able to recall what this number is, but I can't for the life of me. And it will times it by the mech multiplier to give it a total strength of 441. We've got a level 6 Jaeger, so this is very similar in levels to the Shroud, apart from it's got 3 weapons instead. The Jaeger has 3 weapons, earning a 3.75 multiplier, mech multiplier that is, with 3 level 5 Trailblazers, so it will earn 35 points for the level 9 Spitfire and 28 points for each of the Trailblazers at level 5. So it will again add them up, times it by the mech multiplier, and get this total strength of 446.25, which will round down to 446. What you'll notice is that each one of these mechs is a very similar score, and as such they would all appear in the same match. Assuming that the matchmaking, the next part of it when it adds the two together, works, which I'll get onto later. The next one we've got a couple more. I don't need to talk through them, I don't think. I hope that you get the idea. I will add the next 2 examples up on screen now, just so you can read through it if you like. These 2 would get put onto, these was really just a test because they've got different weapons. It's alright, I think there's 1 on a total screen, I can't remember. We'll see if there's 2 or not. You'll know if I'm looking like an idiot right now. Moving on, the next part of the system, where it calculates the percentage change. This kind of part helps to balance out the matchmaking, but what it also does is it helps to counter those who are tanking. It will all make sense and it will all come together once I show you the final bit. So what it does is this is way more mathematical than the previous bit. So it will take all your mechs in your hangar, it will take the largest mech strength and it will minus it off of the mean average. So the mean average is the total score of each of your mechs added together, divided by the quantity of mechs you have. So say you had 5 mechs that were all 250 each, it would add 250 times 5 times, then divide it by 5 to get a mean average of 250. Bad example, but with mixing them up you'll get the idea once I get through some actual examples. It then divides it by the median average, i.e. the middle mech, which will give it its percentage change. The percentage change is then adding on to a 50% difference. We kind of struggle to what to call this next bit here, this 50. We went with difference, although it's technically not difference. This is what we're allocating the mech that the change should be. It makes sense in the addition, and you'll understand why. To give an actual percentage change, so it will take the median strength, times it by the actual percentage change, or APC, to get Q. Q would then be times by the mech quantity, in this case 5, to get 5Q. We'll get onto some examples of applying. So with these examples, note that all the mech strength is always the same if the mech's weapons are the same level, no matter the quantity of weapons it has, and that's why their numbers, the time mech multipliers, are very important, because they help to level it out if it's the same level, and their total points it gets to level 9 for the mech's level and mech's weapons. For reference purposes with these examples, 5 level 8 mechs, including weapons at level 8, is a total strength, gives a total hangar strength of 4,250. That's for reference, so you can understand. Apply some knowledge to it. So, in this example, this is what's effectively known as a tanker. So this is someone who tries to drop down leagues and uses their more powerful stuff to fight lower level players to get easier matches. So this is where this system will counter this. So this tanker in this case has got 4 level 1 mechs, including weapons at level 1. So giving them effective strength of 150 strength per mech, or a total strength across them 4 mechs of 600. They also have a level 9 mech, including weapons at level 9, giving a total strength of 1050 strength. So the score, or the total hanger strength, sorry, is 1650. Now, when you work that out, it would put you somewhere around 5 level 3 mechs ish, which obviously this level 9 mech is going to very easily. It's not going to have a hard time destroying them, so let's put it that way. So, what this system will do is it'll now calculate an actual score that it should be in for the matchmaking, reflective of what its most powerful mech is and the rest of its mech. So it will calculate a percentage change. So it will take the highest level mech, in this case it's 1050, and it will take the average, the mean average of their total hanger strength. So in this case they added all up 1650, divide it by 5 to give you 330. This is then divided by the median, which is one of the level 4 mechs, because when you put it in order, the median number is 150. And that will give you 480% of a percentage change. This then percentage change is added to the 50% difference to give you an actual percentage change of 530. This is then taken and times by the median strength, so this is the middle mech, to give an actual percentage change. In this instance, it's 795. That 795 is times by 5, which is the mech quantity, to give you a score of 3,975. This is then the score after, and will be the score used when matchmaking. Now, when we look at this hanger strength, when it matchmakes, it will take the hanger strength and we'll look at 10% above this score and 10% below, and we'll try and find players that are in that range. So in this instance, this player here who's tanked will be adjusted and will be put into a match with his 1 level 9 mech and 4 level 1 mechs, and will be put up against a player with 5 level 8 mechs, thus discouraging tanking. We'll talk you through another example now. What this is one where it's adapted the change, but no changes occurred. So what it will do is, this one's one that's got 4 level 7 mechs, including mechs weapons at level 7, to give a total strength of 690 per mech, or a total strength of 2,760. It's got 1 level 9 mech with level 9 weapons to give a strength of 1050 strength. So the total hanger strength is 3,810. It'll calculate which match it should put you in. So in this case, it will take the highest score, which is 1050, the median, which is 700, the mean average, which is 762. So we'll take them. We'll take 762 off of 1050, and it will divide it by the median, which is 690. This will give a percentage change of 42%. Plus that onto the 50% difference, it will get a 92% actual percentage change. So it will take the median, which is 690, times it by the actual percentage change to get 634.8. That's the score per mech. Times that by 5, because that's the mech quantity used, to give a total score of 3,174. So the score after has reduced. Now in the matchmaking, it will actually take the hanger strength that's the highest out of these two. So in this instance, it will take the score that was before, so it won't put you in a lower level match. We've got another example on screen. This is a very similar one, apart from the only difference is actually there's only 3 level 7 mechs. I'll let you read through it, just because I'm sure at some point you're going to get sick of hearing me talking. But what this will do is, this will, again, similar to the other one, it will put you into the match, the same match as the hanger strength as your hanger, It won't try and adjust you and put you in a lower leveled match, because you shouldn't be. You should be in the highest one of the two. Pause if needed. So how do the two systems work together? So what the matchmaking will do is it'll first of all ask which hanger strength it should be using, whether it should be using the actual hanger strength or the adjusted hanger strength. Either way, it will go through and it will have a look. It will look for a match within your league. So let's say you're in Silver League. It will take the hanger strength it should be using, and we'll try and find a match in that tier. If after 20 seconds it can't do that, it will broaden its search to searching in the tier above and the tier below. So it will search for a match in gold tier, and it will search for a match in bronze tier to fill in any players that it doesn't have. After 45 seconds, if it cannot find enough players to fill the match, it will fill any gaps within the teams with AI, balancing out the two teams, and that will end the matchmaking. There's a little flowchart up on screen now that just summarises this. I hope it makes sense. Just tried to make it as simple as possible. But yeah, I hope that has been useful for seeing how the two link together. And that is the end of the video. I hope you have found it useful and have enjoyed the video. There's a little bit left of the clip that's on the screen now, so let that play out. But other than that, stay safe and I hope you've enjoyed.